Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check. Check check check. Hello hello. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check. All right. All right, folks, if you are joining us on streaming platforms, maybe you're listening to us on YouTube, we are here in the Storm Chaser. Adam Caskey, Mia Montgomery are live on your app. If you want to tune in there, they'll give you some updates on what's going on radar-wise. We're here just to give you a scene of what we're seeing. And let me tell you where we are. We're at 281, Highway 281 and Highway 46, and near Bulverde. And we're just kind of sitting out here. It's called Storm Chaser, but we're not really chasing storms tonight. With this kind of situation where we have a line of storms, it's more of just kind of posting up in a safe place, letting the storms come through and seeing what we see and hoping there's not damage. We're getting new information coming in from the Weather Service as well. Here's what I can tell you to kind of put your mind at ease as far as if you're watching us from San Antonio, and that is most of the really bad stuff, the heavier storms and the tornado warnings are north of us. Not good for those folks, but down here we're kind of getting the tail end of it. So it's not the worst of it, but we still can see some hail, and we've seen some very, very gusty winds. Now, as the gust front came through here where we are, the winds picked up pretty significantly, and we saw some really strong, powerful gusts. Now, it's let down just a little bit, the winds have, but they're now seeing the gust there in San Antonio. Let's see. I think we have the outage map too that I can look at real quick and let you know if there's any power outages. That is one thing we'll watch for because of the gusty winds. That could cause a few power outages. And looks like right now, I'm not seeing too many. 16 outages, about 3,900 customers are affected. That's for San Antonio, that's CPS. And again, if you're just tuning in, maybe you're on YouTube or you're watching us streaming us live on the website, we are at 281 and 46 near Bulverde. The bulk of the rain just starting to move in. We got the gusty winds initially with the front, and then these storms are lagging behind. And we're seeing some heavier stuff, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning. But I got to tell you that this is not the worst of these storms. That is up north. Places like Austin, Round Rock, up towards the Metroplex. That's where they're really getting rocked tonight. So as I said earlier, if you're just tuning in, we're in Storm Chaser. This is not really a great storm chasing event. We're always really safe when we do these things, but this is one of those situations where we're going to go and park, let the line move across, and then we'll see what the hail situation looks like and what the wind situation looks like. We've already had the winds come through. We had some good gusts, certainly I'd say over 50 miles per hour initially as the line passed by. The severe thunderstorm warning that we have in place calls for 60 mile per hour winds, and that's a possibility, but that's going to be with the front that's out ahead of these storms. So once the kind of the outflow boundary passes by, then we'll get some of the storms. And we're starting to get some heavier rain starting to build in where we are as that thunderstorm starts to move in. Mia Montgomery, meteorologist Mia Montgomery, and Adam Caskey are over on the apps as well, covering the radar. If you want to check in there, they're going to give you the latest on the storm tracks, what you can expect, and where all this is headed. We are definitely seeing a lot of lightning with this storm, but mostly just rain at the moment. We'll see if there is any hail mixed in here. I don't see, looking at the radar, I don't see a lot of indications of that. There certainly could be some small hail. We'll see. This was an area that got hit with some hail this morning, so it'll be kind of back-to-back for those folks in Bulverde and Timberwood Park and Fair Oaks Ranch. So we're starting to get into the heavier part of the storm as we speak. And you can watch along with us. We're parked here right along 46, just off of 281. Perfect. And Adam's here helping me out. We're in the Storm Chaser. Adam Barazza, one of our great photojournalists, here with me. So he's kind of manning the all the equipment here. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm here, Meteorologist Justin Horne here. We're in the Storm Chaser. If you're just joining us, we are in Bulverde, right along 281 and 46. And what we're doing, we're tracking these storms. And if you were with us earlier, I was explaining we're in Storm Chaser, yes, but we're not really out chasing storms tonight. First off, it's dark. We want to be safe about it, but really this is one of those situations. These storms are moving so fast, and you can go and switch it around. There you go. That's what we're seeing outside. Very gusty winds, heavy rain. But this is one of those situations where we kind of just go and sit, wait for these storms to pass us by, see what we see, and pass along that information to you. The whole point of this is to let you know what you can expect. And we're trying to kind of get in the thick of the storm here. And there is some heavy rain, yes, some gusty winds, but so far it hasn't been that bad. So hopefully that kind of puts you at ease if you're watching us from Bulverde, or maybe you're watching us from San Antonio. So far, it's been the gusty winds out ahead of this with the boundary that's been the worst. We probably got some gusts up around 50 miles per hour. That's going to blow things around. Could do a little bit of minor damage. But as far as the storms themselves, they lag behind this line. And so at the moment, it is just rain. We'll see if a little bit of small hail is mixed in there. Also noticing some storms out to the west of San Antonio, near Lake Hills, Rio Medina, and we'll be watching those as they come in too. We're kind of looking through the parking lot here, and you can see the rain blowing around. I mean, there are some gusty winds with this line as it is passing by us, but so far, no hail. Happy to report that. And if you want to see what's going on with the latest with these storms, right at the moment, Mia Montgomery, Adam Caskey are in studio tracking that on the KSAT weather app and on the KSAT app. So we're hitting you with multiple platforms here, and of course we'll be posting what we see on social media as well. Just got a report here from the Weather Service, or it looks like someone is reporting some small hail down along Spring Branch. So there probably is some small hail mixed in here. And we also just enabled the live chat on YouTube. So if you have any questions you want to pass along to us, we'll be happy to answer them. If you have any questions about storm chasing or what we're out doing today, we'll certainly try to answer those. But of course, be nice. Be nice if you're leaving comments. Yes, so we're in Storm Chaser. That's the view that we've got right now here in Bulverde, right along Highway 46. Looking right across over to the Whataburger. That's what's in the distance there, just to give you some frame of reference. And we're kind of in the thick of the storms right now. But as I said, the intensity so far has not really been that bad. This is just some good rain. We'll take that. Absolutely. The worst of these storms right now is up around Williamson County and north of Austin. Seeing lots of reports coming out there of potential spin-ups and some heavier rain. So we're really just getting the good stuff. You know what? I can live with that. So the initial line moved through just about 30 minutes ago. That's when we saw the strongest winds, probably some gusts around 50 miles per hour or so with the front. That's what San Antonio is seeing right now. You're just seeing the winds. The rain is still yet to come, but we are noticing some building storms just to the west of San Antonio. So those should move through and give San Antonio some rain too. Hopefully it is just rain and we're not dealing with any sort of large hail. We are on the tail end of this. The really strong stuff and the more active severe weather is well to our north and across the Metroplex, where there are multiple reports of severe weather. So there's a lot of storm chasers, I'm sure, up there where we are. It's a good driving rain at the moment. That's what we're seeing here. So thank you to all who are tuning in on YouTube, and we're just here to show you what we're seeing out in the Storm Chaser. We'll see if we are out chasing more of these in the coming weeks as we head into a busier severe weather season. And don't forget, if you want to check out the KSAT app, KSAT weather app, live streaming there too, Mia Montgomery and Adam Caskey with the latest with the radar. And we just keep getting new warnings in, but most of these are north of us. So really it's just rain. I'll be curious to see how much rain we pick up too. You can look at some of the estimates here on the radar. So we're getting some pretty heavy rain out of this. And you probably just got a push alert on your phone, but there's quite a few customers in San Antonio without power. CPS is reporting that. Because of the high winds, likely going to cause some power lines, cause some issues there. So far, it looks like we picked up about 1/10 of an inch if you're estimating how much rain. And a lot of people are asking where we're at. It's worth repeating again. We are at Highway 46 and Highway 281 in Bulverde. So north of San Antonio, where some of the heavier rain is at the moment, we may be heading back south here soon as storms work their way into town. Looks like we got a couple questions here on YouTube. And I'll do my best to answer some of these if I can. Let's see. All right, looks like just people are asking where we are. And that's where we are, 281, Highway 46. And it's just rain. That's what we want, just rain. We did get some really powerful winds earlier tonight out in Del Rio. So if you're tuning in out there, we know there was some damage. Gusts to 72 miles per hour, I believe was the estimate there, or the actual reporting. And most heavy rain has moved through here. We got the winds, we got the rain, that's it. No hail, nothing to report. This is good. This is good rain, what we would want in a situation like this. And you know, I think we'll stick where we are. There's another storm behind us. It's getting close to I-10. It's showing signs of intensification, so this is probably a good spot. And what we do when we storm chase is we often get out ahead of the storms, try to stay out ahead of them, and then find a safe place to kind of park, let the storms work towards us. And that's what we did with this batch of rain. And then we'll kind of stick around and see what this next round does for us as it's headed towards Fair Oaks Ranch and kind of heading in our direction. Okay, so we did get a report that said that this was a comment on YouTube, said the windows were shaking in New Braunfels. I don't doubt it. I think we got some gusts with the front, not necessarily with the storms, but with the front, probably up around 50 miles per hour. People are asking if there's any tornado warnings. No, there's not. Not here. Up around Austin, there are mostly just gusty winds. And again, if you're joining us, we are here in Storm Chaser. I'm here with Adam Barazza, who's manning all the equipment here and driving for us here in Storm Chaser. And no tornado warnings at the moment. So that's what we like to see. And the rain's actually letting up here. So as we look outside again, it's still some rain coming down, but this is not bad. So I'm going to check out the radar one more time. Radar is our best friend in these situations. And if you're watching from San Antonio, the gust front, the leading edge of those winds, have passed through downtown, and now they're working towards the southeast side of San Antonio. And where we are is just rain. We didn't get any hail, so that's the positive I think that we're looking at this evening. Most of the heavy stuff, as we were saying earlier, is up north of Round Rock now and up towards the Dallas area. So we just kind of caught the tail end of this. Now, okay, we didn't get bad storms, but what you will need to prepare for tonight are very gusty winds in their wake. We're going to see winds gusting 40 to 45, probably behind the storms, going all the way into tomorrow morning. So initially, you'll get the gusty winds, you'll get some rain, and then winds again as they kick up. We still do have some severe thunderstorm warnings, but these storms appear to be weakening a little bit. And honestly, I'm not seeing a lot to them. So if we just get some rain out of this, that would be the perfect situation. We technically have a severe thunderstorm warning that goes for another 55 minutes or so. That includes the city of San Antonio and up towards New Braunfels and San Marcos. And it really is for those gusty winds. Right now, 8,500 people without power in San Antonio, and it's probably because of those gusty winds that came through with the front. You know, Adam, the storm behind us is weakening, so I would say if we can get out of here, it looks like we're blocked in by a truck. Maybe we'll start heading south back down towards San Antonio. Blocked in by a semi. It happens. Yeah. These are the kind of things that happen when you're out in Storm Chaser. Yep. Well, while we check out that situation, we'll just give you another view here of what we're seeing. This is here along Highway 46. We're looking at the bank there across the street, the Whataburger, if you're familiar with that, along 46 in Boulevardy. And we're about to head back south if we can get out of here down towards San Antonio. There's no damage here, no issues that we can see. And we had someone ask, what is the wind gusts in Stockdale? And the wind has not made it, the strongest winds have not made it to Stockdale yet. You're probably going to have to give it another half hour. That leading edge of storms will then get to Stockdale. You'll probably see gusts, I'd say 40 to 50 miles per hour out of the northwest once this front makes it there. A lot of people reporting those gusty winds, and that's going to be the main threat at this point. Just looking at the radar, and of course Adam and me are live as well, but there's just not much to these storms. It's really that gust front out ahead that is the biggest issue. And you probably hear those little dings there in the background. That is the National Weather Service communicating with us when we're out storm chasing. This is vital to be able to see what they're seeing, and other media as well. And they're confirming some gusts in Austin, 50 miles per hour plus. So some very strong winds up there too. Okay, we did get a 58 mile per hour wind gust reported at the airport, 56 mile per hour wind gust in San Marcos. So that verifies that these winds somewhere in the range of 50 to maybe 60 miles per hour. But that initial gust front, everything's quieting down here where we are. Again, we're going to try to move back south to San Antonio, but we're kind of locked in here at the moment, stuck in a parking lot.
He's got one crate when we're out.
Okay, perfect.
I'll be right back.
Yep. All right, for anyone watching or just tuning in, again, I'm meteorologist Justin Horne. We're here in Storm Chaser, and there's not much to see at the moment. Not that we want you to click off of us. You're welcome to keep watching, but there's not much here in Boulevardy as things have kind of winding down. We saw the rain and storms move out. We didn't get any hail, just good heavy rain and some really strong winds with that initial gust front, probably around 50 miles per hour or so, and that has been the case as that front has moved through San Antonio too. I know a lot of people in San Antonio are saying, man, it got windy quick, and it did. Gusts to 58 miles per hour at the airport as that gust front came through, and now some storms are starting to move into the west side of San Antonio. If you're watching from Alamo Ranch out there along 1604, heavy rains really starting to move in there. And you'll get another good downpour, but other than maybe some small hail, I don't think these storms are all that severe. So that is that's the good news, as we've been saying. And once those storms pass by, then things really begin to quiet down. Okay, so that's the latest from where we are. I'm going to go ahead, kind of end things a little bit here as we get back in on the road. We're going to try to head south back down towards San Antonio. And if we do see anything or any damage like that, we'll certainly pass it along to you. You can still follow along, see what we're seeing with the Storm Chaser as we will be out and about tonight. First time this season with a little bit of severe weather. And again, if we see anything else, we'll let you know. What's that?
I don't know if you put it on mute or not.
Oh.
The switch on the top. They said we were hot earlier, so I think we should be fine. You see on the back over here behind us? You see those levels moving? The green?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as those are moving, I think we should be fine.
Okay. What's up? Oh. Oh yeah, it's because I'm not talking.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted
Can
to
you?
make sure that
Yeah.
you know where you're going.
Can you hear me now? There's a pretty good swath of hail moving right through downtown right now. So if you're following along with us, we are in the KSAT Storm Chaser. We were up in Bulverde watching the line come through, and now we're making our way back down to San Antonio, where storms have intensified a little bit. Now it looks like we're starting to see some hail right over downtown as this storm works over the city of San Antonio. Could even get a little more sizable hail out of this just looking at the radar. And it looks like we're starting to get reports of that coming in around SeaWorld. There was some pretty big hail, and now that is moving into the downtown area. We are north of that, looking back now at this storm, headed into some of the heavier rain here on the city's north side. But this storm intensifying a little bit as it's moving into San Antonio, on top of those gusty winds that we just saw not too long ago with the gust front that came through. And now we're getting hit with heavy rain, and we're going to get hit with strong winds behind this. So Adam Caskey just did a update on KSAT 12. If you're watching, it's also still streaming live on the KSAT weather app. We're in Storm Chaser. If you're streaming along with us, we are moving back into the heavy rain here as we travel down 281, and we're getting into some pretty torrential rain here on the far north side. The heaviest stuff now moving in around Kirby, along I-35 there east of downtown. Probably seeing some hail with that, as this storm has kind of intensified over the city of San Antonio, and we are getting plenty of reports of hail now coming in to KSAT. Some sizable hail at that, up to nickel size is the latest, and that was out near SeaWorld. I can tell you the rain is coming down at a pretty good rate. So we could pick up some pretty good rain out of this. This is the good thing about this, but we certainly don't want the severe weather. It looks like seeing a little bit of that. We're taking it slow here as we drive through some of this heavier rain, and still some gusty winds mixed in there too. We saw some very gusty winds earlier as the boundary came through, and now we're dealing with this good thunderstorm at this hour. If you're watching us from Kirby, beware, there's going to be some pretty good hail, I think, mixed in there. Just looking at the radar, that's where the hail core is now, and that's going to work its way off to the east northeast. So Converse, Marion, those are areas that you'll want to keep an eye out as this storm moves in your direction. What's that?
Do you need me to keep going down, or like once we
Yeah,
go
you can
down?
stay on 281 for now. I think that these storms are moving so fast that we're gonna have a hard time catching up to them if we want to try to get out ahead of it. So at this point, I think we'll just kind of stick behind the initial line. The heavy stuff has moved now towards Converse, China Grove. That's my hail.
I don't know if that's hail or if that's just rust or no. That's why I'm trying to like stay away from it. I think the only kind of thing is just very
So when we get to 35, let's take 35 east, just briefly. I want to see if there's any damage from the hail. I think there will be, but. 6. Yeah, that's well over. Good water on the road there. See much. I think we can probably go ahead and head on back.
Back to the station.
Yes, sir. The hail was large, but thankfully it wasn't large enough to do any sort of crazy damage, so that's good. Aw. How do you turn this thing on?
Hold it down for 3 seconds.
Which button?
The center button.
Oh, power button.